The smiling faces who once defined America's family suffered heartbreak, illness, shocking reinventions, and tragic endings nobody expected. But one Leave It to Beaver star experienced a final chapter so devastating it haunts fans. Tony Dow was born on April 13, 1945. He played Wally Cleaver, the dependable older brother whose calm smile and quiet confidence made him one of the most admired teenagers in television history. During the golden years of Leave It to Beaver from 1957 to 1963, Wally represented the ideal American son. He respected his parents, protected Beaver from trouble, and somehow always seemed one step ahead of childhood chaos. But what made Wally unforgettable was not perfection. It was the warmth beneath his maturity. He became the older brother millions of viewers wished they had growing up. Yet the painful irony of Tony Dow's life is that the young man who looked emotionally stable on screen spent decades privately battling severe depression. Hollywood created an image of him that seemed impossible to break, and audiences struggled to imagine Wally Cleaver carrying real emotional darkness. Dow later admitted that fame itself became psychologically exhausting because people expected him to remain the same wholesome teenager forever. In 2022, he was diagnosed with liver cancer, and his final days became surrounded by heartbreaking confusion when news outlets mistakenly announced his death before it actually happened. He died on July 27, 2022, at age 77. That tragic ending somehow deepened the emotional connection audiences felt toward him. Wally Cleaver always looked like the boy who had life figured out, but Tony Dow quietly revealed a truth millions understand too well. Sometimes the people who appear strongest are fighting the hardest battles no one else can see. Barbara Billingsley was born on December 22, 1915. She played June Cleaver, the elegant and endlessly patient mother, whose gentle voice and emotional warmth turned her into one of television's most beloved mothers. Inside Leave It to Beaver, June represented emotional safety and stability. While Beaver stumbled into trouble and Wally struggled through adolescence, June remained calm, understanding, and compassionate. She listened carefully before judging and guided her children without humiliating them. For many American families during the late 1950s and early 1960s, June Cleaver became the symbol of home itself. But Barbara Billingsley's real life carried much more sorrow than audiences ever imagined while watching her smile across the Cleaver kitchen table. She experienced divorce, widowhood, and emotional hardships that sharply contrasted with the peaceful world viewers associated with her character. That hidden pain may explain why her performances still feel genuine decades later. In her later years, she battled polymyalgia rheumatica, a painful inflammatory disease that weakened her health. She died on October 16, 2010 at age 94. Her passing felt symbolic for many fans because it seemed like part of television's innocence disappeared with her forever. Hugh Beaumont was born on February 16, 1909. He played Ward Cleaver, the wise and steady father whose calm authority became one of classic television's defining images of fatherhood. On Leave It to Beaver, Ward was never portrayed as a flawless superhero. He became frustrated, made mistakes, and occasionally misunderstood his sons, yet he always tried guiding them toward honesty, responsibility, and kindness. That humanity is what made audiences trust him. Ward represented a generation of fathers who believed love was shown through sacrifice, discipline, and quiet reliability rather than emotional speeches. But the tragic contrast in Hugh Beaumont's real life was that the man who appeared physically and emotionally strong on screen eventually faced serious decline behind the scenes. In 1970, Beaumont suffered a major stroke that severely affected his health and gradually pushed him away from acting. His personal life also carried heartbreak, including family tragedy and the collapse of a long marriage after more than 3 decades together. He died from a heart attack on May 14, 1982, while visiting his son in Germany. By 2026, Ward Cleaver still represents a rare image of fatherhood, built on patience, morality, and gentle strength. Ken Osmond was born on June 7, 1943. He played Eddie Haskell, the smooth-talking troublemaker whose fake politeness and hidden manipulation made him one of television's most unforgettable characters. Eddie smiled respectfully at parents, causing chaos the moment adults turned away, turning him into the perfect symbol of teenage rebellion hiding beneath suburban manners. Audiences instantly recognized people like Eddie in real life, because every school seemed to have someone charming on the surface, but reckless underneath. Yet Ken Osmond's real story became even more surprising than the character he portrayed. After Hollywood typecast him for years as Eddie Haskell, Osmond completely reinvented himself by joining the Los Angeles Police Department in 1970. The transformation shocked many fans. Television's most famous troublemaker became a real-life police officer. In 1980, his life nearly ended during a dangerous pursuit involving suspected car thieves. Osmond was shot multiple times and survived only because his bulletproof vest stopped 2 bullets, while another struck his belt buckle. In later years, he battled chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and peripheral artery disease before dying on May 18, 2020 at age 76. His journey proved people are always more complex than the roles they play. Rusty Stevens was born on November 25, 1948. He played Larry Mondello, Beaver Cleaver's mischievous best friend, whose endless schemes and innocent troublemaking created many of the show's funniest moments. Larry was the kind of childhood friend nearly every viewer recognized immediately. He rarely intended real harm, but his impulsive ideas constantly pulled Beaver into awkward situations and hilarious disasters. Together, they represented the emotional chaos of growing up, where small mistakes often felt like world-ending crises. What made Larry memorable was how honestly he reflected childhood curiosity, recklessness, and imagination. Unlike many child actors who desperately chased fame into adulthood, Stevens quietly disappeared from Hollywood after leaving the series. Years later, fans were surprised to discover the boy once recognized across America had settled into an ordinary life, working in insurance far away from the spotlight. That contrast gives his story unusual emotional depth. Hollywood often teaches people to chase fame forever, but Rusty Stevens walked away from it entirely and built stability elsewhere. There was also lingering mystery surrounding his sudden departure from Leave It to Beaver, which added bittersweet emotion to his story. By 2026, Larry Mondello still symbolizes the unpredictable energy and innocence of childhood friendships. Stephen Talbot was born on February 28, 1949. He played Gilbert Bates, one of Beaver Cleaver's smartest and most loyal friends, a boy whose imagination and curiosity made him one of the series' most memorable young characters. Gilbert often entered stories with unusual ideas, exaggerated tales, and clever observations that reflected the endless creativity of childhood. In many ways, he represented growing up before technology consumed imagination and attention spans. Beaver and Gilbert could transform ordinary moments into adventures simply through conversation and curiosity. But Stephen Talbot's real-life transformation became even more fascinating than anything Gilbert experienced on screen. Unlike many former child stars who struggled escaping television identities, Talbot reinvented himself intellectually and professionally. He stepped away from acting and built a respected career as a journalist and documentary filmmaker for PBS and Frontline. That evolution carried powerful symbolic meaning. The playful boy, once known for imaginative storytelling, matured into a man dedicated to investigating real stories shaping American society. Talbot later admitted there were periods when he tried distancing himself from Leave It to Beaver because he feared audiences would never take his adult achievements seriously. By 2026, his life remains a powerful reminder that reinvention is possible without abandoning the past that first shaped you. Frank Bank was born on April 12, 1942. He played Clarence Lumpy Rutherford, the blustering school bully whose large size and awkward confidence made him one of Leave It to Beaver's most unexpectedly lovable characters. At first glance, Lumpy seemed intimidating. He towered over other students, stumbled through embarrassing situations, and often acted tougher than he truly felt inside. But underneath the comic arrogance was a teenager desperate for approval and acceptance, which is why audiences eventually warmed to him. Lumpy represented the uncomfortable insecurity hidden beneath adolescence itself. Many teenagers pretend to be stronger, cooler, or smarter than they actually feel. Frank Bank understood that emotional vulnerability, perfectly transforming what could have been a one-dimensional bully into someone strangely human and relatable. After the series ended, Bank completely reinvented himself by entering the financial world and becoming a successful stockbroker. That career shift surprised many fans because few expected the awkward television bully to thrive in such a competitive environment. Yet his personal life remained complicated, marked by multiple marriages and health struggles before he died from cancer on April 13, 2013, one day after his 71st birthday. His legacy still reminds audiences that insecurity often hides behind false confidence and loud behavior. Jeri Mathers was born on June 2, 1948. He played Theodore Beaver Cleaver, the curious and innocent young boy whose endless misunderstandings turned Leave It to Beaver into one of television's most emotionally enduring family series. Beaver was never portrayed as a perfect child. He lied, sometimes made impulsive decisions, and constantly stumbled into disasters that felt enormous through a child's eyes. Yet that vulnerability is exactly why audiences loved him. Beaver represented childhood honestly, showing how confusing the adult world could appear when viewed through innocence and imagination. Jeri Mathers carried that emotional authenticity naturally, and millions of viewers grew up feeling as though they personally knew him. Unlike many child stars damaged by fame, Mathers managed something remarkably rare in Hollywood. He survived success with his identity and stability intact, while other former television children struggled with addiction or emotional collapse. Mathers quietly built a balanced life outside the spotlight. In later interviews, he often spoke warmly about becoming a grandfather and appreciating how deeply Leave It to Beaver still resonated with older generations. By 2026, Jeri Mathers remains one of the final living emotional links to a television era audiences still associate with comfort, innocence, and family stability. Richard Deacon was born on May 14, 1922. He played Fred Rutherford, the smug and status-obsessed neighbor whose constant attempts to appear superior created some of Leave It to Beaver's sharpest adult comedy. Fred Rutherford was instantly recognizable to audiences because nearly every neighborhood seemed to contain someone exactly like him. He bragged subtly, competed socially with Ward Cleaver, and behaved as though every conversation were an opportunity to prove his importance. Yet Richard Deacon's brilliance was that he never allowed Fred to become hateful. Beneath the arrogance lived insecurity, which made the character strangely entertaining instead of unbearable. Fred represented a side of suburban America rarely discussed openly during the late 1950s. The quiet pressure families felt to appear successful, respectable, and admired at all times. In many ways, Fred symbolized fear of failing the American dream itself. Off-screen, Deacon became one of television's most respected character actors, appearing in countless productions beyond Leave It to Beaver. But his final years carried sadness, because just as reunion projects revived public interest in the series, his life suddenly ended. Richard Deacon died from a heart attack on August 8, 1984, at age 62, leaving behind a legacy of timeless suburban comedy and emotional realism. Jeri Weil was born on May 15, 1948. She played Judy Hensler, Beaver Cleaver's sharp-tongued classroom rival, whose teasing personality made her one of the most memorable girls in the early years of Leave It to Beaver. Judy constantly embarrassed Beaver, challenged his confidence, and exposed how awkward young boys often felt around girls during childhood. But beneath the humor, Judy represented something emotionally important within the series. She became one of Beaver's earliest experiences with rejection, embarrassment, and social insecurity. Childhood rarely feels emotionally simple, and Judy reminded audiences that growing up means learning how to survive uncomfortable feelings as much as happy ones. Jeri Weil brought unusual confidence and personality into the role, making Judy unforgettable, despite appearing in fewer episodes than many major characters. Yet what makes her story especially touching is how completely she stepped away from Hollywood afterward. Unlike performers who desperately tried holding on to fame, Weil quietly disappeared into private life, allowing Judy Hensler to remain emotionally frozen in the memories of audiences forever young. Over the years, reports about aging and health struggles reminded fans how quickly time passes, even for people associated with childhood nostalgia. By 2026, Judy Hensler still symbolizes the unforgettable emotional awkwardness hidden inside growing up. Tiger Fafara was born on January 3, 1945. He played Tooey Brown, one of Wally Cleaver's streetwise teenage friends, whose relaxed confidence and rebellious energy helped shape the older Cleaver brothers' social world. Tooey represented a side of adolescence. Leave It to Beaver rarely pushed too far, but quietly acknowledged. Not every teenager fit perfectly into suburban expectations. Some wanted freedom, excitement, and independence from adult supervision. Tooey brought that edge into the series without making the show cynical or cruel. His presence reminded audiences that adolescence always contains tension between responsibility and temptation. Off-screen, Tiger Fafara experienced an even more dramatic struggle. After early success as a child actor, he stepped away from Hollywood while still young, and later battled serious addiction problems that nearly destroyed his life. Like many former child stars, he faced the painful reality of losing identity once public attention disappeared. Yet unlike some tragic Hollywood stories that end in collapse, Fafara eventually fought his way back toward stability. Years later, he briefly returned to reprise Tooey Brown, creating an emotional moment for longtime fans who suddenly saw the mischievous teenager transformed by age and survival. By 2026, Tiger Fafara's story remains a powerful reminder that survival itself can become a form of victory and personal redemption. Richard Correll was born on May 14, 1948. He played Richard Rickover, one of Beaver Cleaver's classmates whose smaller appearances still helped make the world of Leave It to Beaver feel authentic and emotionally lived in. Rickover was not a major star like Wally or Eddie, yet characters like him quietly gave the series realism. Every school contains background personalities who shape childhood memories without dominating attention. Correll understood that dynamic, and his natural performances blended seamlessly into Beaver's social world. But what makes his life especially fascinating is that his greatest success arrived after childhood fame ended. Instead of remaining trapped by nostalgia, Correll reinvented himself behind the camera and became one of television's most successful sitcom directors. Over the following decades, he directed episodes of beloved family series, including Full House and Family Matters, helping shape the emotional tone of American television for a completely new generation. That transformation carries symbolic importance because it proves childhood fame does not need to become a prison. Correll evolved with the entertainment industry instead of endlessly chasing the past. In later years, serious health scares reminded fans how vulnerable aging becomes, even for people tied to nostalgic memories. By 2026, Richard Correll remains respected as both a former child actor and influential television creator. Buddy Joe Hooker was born on May 30, 1942. He played Chester Anderson, one of Wally Cleaver's familiar teenage friends whose easygoing personality helped make the world of Leave It to Beaver feel natural and believable. Chester represented the ordinary American teenager during the late 1950s, balancing friendship, school humor, and youthful uncertainty inside an idealized suburban environment. What made the character effective was simplicity. Chester never required dramatic storylines because he reflected the normal social atmosphere surrounding Wally Cleaver's daily life. Yet Buddy Joe Hooker's real journey became far more extraordinary than many viewers realized. After leaving acting behind, he entered the dangerous world of stunt performance and eventually became one of Hollywood's most respected stunt coordinators. That transformation feels almost poetic. The quiet teenager from a gentle family sitcom later built a profession around physical danger, discipline, and survival. Over the decades, Hooker worked on major productions and earned admiration throughout the entertainment industry for his professionalism and fearlessness. But aging eventually brought serious health struggles that forced him into difficult physical and emotional battles. Fans who remembered Chester as carefree suddenly faced the reality that even television's familiar faces cannot escape time. By 2026, Buddy Joe Hooker's story continues reminding audiences that reinvention and perseverance often define real success more than childhood fame ever could. If these memories touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so we can continue revisiting the stars who shaped television history. Leave It to Beaver was never only about childhood innocence. It taught audiences about family responsibility, forgiveness, and the quiet emotional comfort people desperately needed during uncertain years. Decades later, the actors may have aged or passed away, but the warmth they created still survives. Their legacy proves that genuine human kindness never truly disappears.